And now, live from Studio 38 in the world's Roundup City, this is the Great American Podcast. Here's your host, Butch Thurman.
Six-time world champion Cody Ohl is on the program today. Cody, welcome back to the program. Good to have you on.
Well, I appreciate it. It's good to be on.
Yes. Well, how have you been? Let's talk a little bit about what's been going on. I know you had that terrible knee infection a few years ago. How's your health?
My health is probably better than it's ever been. I just, got down to the bottom of it. I about lost my life over it, but I rebounded probably stronger than I ever have, and here we are today, and just training lots of horses and giving lots of roping lessons and tune-ups and stuff like that.
Keeping you busy. That is exciting. Cody Ohl is our guest today, six-time world champion. A big event at the NFR last December. One of the rodeo icons, along with Billy Etbauer. You got your banner in the Thomas and Mack Center, and that was pretty special.
Yes, sir. I was in there fighting for my life when I got inducted into the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame, so I didn't get to partake in that. So this was kind of the icing on the cake for me to, get inducted as an icon in Vegas. So just to get to be a part of that this year and in front of all the fans that I've loved all my life. And so that was that was a very special moment for me and my family.
6 world titles. Does one mean more than any of the others? One stick out more to you?
I get asked that a lot. They're all meaningful in their own way, because you battle things along the way that, a lot of people don't know. But, just all the blood, sweat, and tears to, everybody wants to be a world champion. Everybody dreams of being a world champion, and everybody thinks they put in the work to being a world champion. But when you actually become a world champion for that first time, it's the greatest feeling in the world. The sixth one's just as meaningful to me, but to know that you got that first one, that's always, to me, is always the one that sticks out the most to me.
We're talking with Cody Ohl today on the program, a 6-time world champion. In the tie-down roping, we've had some spectacular finishes, some great competition each round at the national finals, and then, of course, throughout the regular season. Yourself, Fred Whitfield, Trevor Brazil, Joe Beaver, just the competition in your event was so intense and so exciting. Tell us about that.
I always call it there's a few of us that God created that little extra switch with, and it's just, in our era, there was just seemed like there was more of them at one time, and we could always rise to the occasion or whatever we was faced with, and to be doing it all at the same time is what created greatness and, leaving the legacy that we left, so it was a great time in my life, and like I said, it's now getting to coach with those same guys with that same mentality and coach against them. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah,
it sure is. Talk about the competition. Yeah, I mean, there was no rivalry really, but it was a friendly one. It was out of pure competition and desire to win, wasn't it?
Sure. What most people don't realize is, Fred and I, we rodeoed in the same rigs for 5 or 6 years, during all this time. And, the only time there was any rivalry really between us is when we had big match opens coming up. And it really wasn't rivalry. It was just our own way of dealing with, trying to separate from the other competitor a little bit. And, like once we got to Vegas, we'd rodeoed all year together. It was, it wasn't like we didn't speak and talk and get a little bit of a game plan or ask each other questions. Because, we've been, our lives have been in each other's hands every day, every night, all night, driving each other and making them all-night drives. And so, it can't be anything but a good rivalry when you're faced with all that, and then on top of that, putting on a show everywhere you pull up to.
He's Cody Ohl, the 6-time world champion, back on our program after a little bit of an absence of having you on. Let's talk about today, some of these young guns coming up. We've got some more exciting ropers in the business. Who do you like out there?
There's There's a handful of them that really stick out to me. There's, of course, Shad Mayfield, who's super hot right now and, just making a statement. But, Riley Webb last year did the same exact thing. They're both, I mean, I can't separate one over the other. They're both unreal athletes. They're both, strive to be the best that they can possibly be every day. And so, those two are always at the top of my list. And then with Caleb kind of dropping out of the picture, he was always just felt like he was not that old to me. So I always had him in the mix as a young gun too. So, there's just so much talent there right now, and it's good watching.
Let's talk about horsepower over the years. That's a big part of your game. Did you have a favorite horse after all those world titles?
That's another thing that kind of goes back to the favorite, gold buckle or favorite horse. I won 5 world championships in the calf roping, and just 2 of those was on the same one. And, it was just, what people don't realize is that year, that combination between me and that horse was better than anybody else. Like if I knew I had that horse for the new year starting over in Vegas, I didn't feel cocky or overconfident to make a statement and say, like, I will win the world championship this year, and that's kind of the years that I really wanted to win a world championship. I just went ahead and did it. And so, but a lot of it is I knew what kind of partner I had for that upcoming year.
Talking with Cody Ohl today, a 6-time world champion, and one of the coaches for Kid Rock's Rockin' Rodeo coming up in May at Arlington, Texas. Quite a concept, a team concept. Tell me how you feel about that and being selected as one of the coaches.
Well, for one, getting to be a part of anything the PBR does, it just takes it over the top. People will ask me, well, we're not so sure about this, or we're thinking about this. I said, let me tell you something. I've been a part of the PBR for a long time, 2007, 2008, hauling bulls and winning ABBI world championships and that with bucking bulls. And I said, anything that they do is first class, for one, and 2, it'll be over the top. It'll be a whole different set of sponsors, whole different, crowd of people that we've never been around, and so there's no gamble at any of this. You're taking the best coaches in the world, and you're allowing them to pick their teams and go head to head, for $1 million payout. So how, with Kid Rock bringing his own concert in there and bringing his own style of, music listeners, and, those guys easing in and dropping into the Western world, and, maybe buying their first pair of boots or their first hat, their first Western shirt. There's just so many great things that can come from this.
Well, Cody, we wish you the best of luck. I don't know about strategy. I don't know how you're going to handle this, but it will be exciting, and it will be exciting to watch.
It'll be for, there'll be a winner every category you go through. So the first-time rodeo fans, they're gonna get their money's worth. It's just like drag racing or anything else. There's a clear-cut winner every time somebody competes. So with the red light, green light effect going on, there's a lot of strategy in that. A lot of the horsepower will play a big role in that as well. And then the horsemanship for the teammates that you chose to be on your team, that's going to play a big role as well.
Cody, it's been a pleasure to have you back on the program. Good luck with the team competition, and we'll have to do this again sometime.
We'll do it soon. I appreciate you. Thanks for having me on.
6-time world champion Cody Ohl joining us today on the program. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We've got plenty more coming your way. News and notes and rodeo highlights. Right after this on the Great American Podcast.
Hey y'all, Cody Johnson here. If there's one rule I've tried to live by, it's this: be authentic. I've always held true to my core beliefs of family, faith, and country. I'm a cowboy at heart. That's exactly why I wear Wrangler jeans and shirts. They're iconic. And if the legendary West could be summed up in one word, that word has to be Wrangler. And hey, when my fans see me wearing Wrangler, I know that they can say, yep, that guy's the genuine article.
We're cowboys or king.
Wrangler, long live cowboys.
from Studio 38 and today's Great American Podcast with Butch Thurman.
Let's go to Houston, Texas. Rodeo Houston, the championship shootout. $50,000 winners include in the bareback riding, back-to-back wins for Leighton Berry, 91.5 points. Calgary Stampede's Agent Lynx. Dakota Eldridge tops the field in steer wrestling. We had some long times. He wins it with a time of 8.1 seconds. JC Yauquo, Buddy Hawkins are your team roping champions at 4 and 8. Over in the saddle bronc riding, it's Damian Brennan. He turns in 91 points. The Survey Brothers Rodeo R. Watson, Ed Bishop. Ty Harris tops the field in calf roping, 8 and 2 his time. For the ladies in breakaway roping, it's Jackie Crawford. Rodeo announcer Bob Tallman has the call on the Cowboy Channel.
There's an on. Now we're going to see what the champion does with it. Woo! 3-7.
Your barrel racing winner, Leslie Smilago at 14:35, and Creek Young wins the bull riding. He turns in 87 big points. Survey Championship Rodeo's Preacher. That's Rodeo Houston. The PBR, the Professional Bull Riders Unleash the Beast Tour, makes a stop in Little Rock, Arkansas, and your world #1 leader, Cassio Diaz of Brazil, gets another win.
Yes! With another statement of domination, our world #1 and then some.
That's big-time stuff right there from Cassio Diaz. Not cracking in a big moment.
90.5.
And I love to watch this guy ride, and I love to see the amount of pressure that he can just take and hone in, and just, this is huge stuff right here from Cassio Diaz.
I love that you mentioned pressure, my friend, because Cassio Diaz seems to eat pressure for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Direction doesn't bother him right there. Picks him up back around to the left. Love this ride right here from Cassio Diaz under pressure.
Craig Hummer and Cooper Davis on CBS Sports. Diaz cashing in for $52,000. Well, that's going to wrap up the program for this week. Once again, thank you to Cody Ohl for joining us earlier in the program. We'll be back again next week here on the Great American Podcast. I'm Butch Thurman.